All I can report. Thank you very much, Prince Dlamini from Eswatini. May I ask Malawi to stand by? May I ask Namibia to stand by and Seychelles to stand by? Whilst I invite Lesotho National Broadcasting Services to speak on behalf of Lesotho. Can I call on Tlali Manosa? Tlali Manosa from Lesotho, please. Do we have Lesotho? 5 minutes, please. Can we please appreciate the gentleman as he approaches, Mr. Tlali Manosa? Thank you. Lesotho isn't ready yet, so we'll give Lesotho some time to get ready. Is Malawi ready? Malawi, George. Can we appreciate George, CEO, DG of Malawi Broadcasting Corporation?
Thank you very much, Maria. Good afternoon, everyone. A brief report from Malawi. First of all, Malawi Broadcasting Corporation is a creature of an Act of Parliament, 2016. At the moment, we are running 2 TV channels and 2 radio channels, as well as we also have a strong online presence. During the past 10 to 15 years, Malawians in general were not happy with the way the public broadcaster was running matters of the state, informing, enlightening, educating. They thought probably it was too pro-ruling party, so to speak, not even pro-government. So when we came in 2021, a new board, and then recruiting myself and my whole management team, our brief was that we needed to reclaim the credibility, reclaim the confidence of Malawians. So that's what we've been doing throughout the past 2 years, including this year. First of all, changing programming. We've been successful introducing new programs, removing ones that we thought were not right for the audience. Also modernizing infrastructure, making sure that we have new equipment, buying a new OB van. Apart from that, we also introduced the second channel. It's now on air, not in commission, but on air. That's the TV channel. All these years in Malawi, you had only one national TV channel since 1998. But we thought probably it's too congested and we needed a different channel. So that was introduced. It is on air, but it is yet to be commissioned. We also working hard digitalizing things, live streaming, news programs, TV. We're very good on TV, but radio is what we are now trying to make sure that we have something. So we're working on podcasts for radio so that our audience can find us easily online in case they missed a program that they thought they should still listen to. Maybe the last but 2 point is just to comment on the broadcasting sector earthquake that happened in Malawi. So currently in Malawi, there's a deadlock between Mad Choice, providers of DSTV, as well as our regulator, or billionaire regulator, Malawi Regulatory Authority, MACRA. The issue at hand is that Mad Choice wanted to raise subscription fees, but the regulator thought before they could do that, they needed to get approval from the regulator. Mad Choice was arguing that the company that is in Malawi, called Mad Choice Malawi, is just a manager of a subscription. But the broadcasting, the beaming of everything is done by Mad Choice Africa, which cannot be subjected to the local laws in Malawi. So because of that, Mad Choice went to court to ask the court, first of all, to get an injunction to stop regulator insisting that there should be this approval, and secondly, to also seek some interpretation of the laws. That case is still rumbling in court. We have to get the ruling. However, in the interim, my choice has suspended all its DSTV services in Malawi, so that as we speak, when your subscription expires, you can't renew it in Malawi as far as the DSTV is concerned. Now it is an issue. First of all, some people were getting us through that platform, so obviously those probably they are now seeking new ways of getting us. On the other hand, colleagues here are advising me that probably this is an opportunity for us to raise our game and fill up the gap that my choice has created in Malawi. Going forward, 2 years from now, Malawi will be conducting general elections. In the past, MPC has always been criticized that probably it is pro this one. So we are making our plans because we want to make a difference to make sure that we cover the elections strictly per the laws of Malawi. Finally, MPC, Malawi Broadcasting Corporation, believes in Saba, believes in Saba project, believes in the things that Saba is doing. So it's just to express my commitment that MPC is firmly on board, a fully-fledged member of Saba. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. G. That is Malawi. Quickly going back to Lesotho, the Kingdom of Lesotho, can I bring in Mr. Manosa, Chief Engineer, Kingdom of Lesotho, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tladi Manosa, Chief Engineer at LNBS, and I will be presenting a very brief report per our operations, especially in the technology. Mainly what we are working on now is trying to transform our audio broadcasting to digital, mainly the medium wave, which now we are working on with very aging technology on amplitude modulation. And we are hoping that in the near future we'll be introducing digital radio mondial as a transition from the analog system to be complementing the FM that we are widely engaging throughout the country. On the TV, we installed the DVB-T network that has been operational for some years now, and we have been augmenting the penetration by distributing set-top boxes. Although, in short, we would say it's facing a serious challenge from digital satellite TV because we see more usage of the satellite service than the terrestrial one. And as such, in the effort to try to utilize to the maximum the network, we've been scouting around, and we recently discovered a technology that, at least in promises, they say they can help us utilize it to do high-speed download speed for internet, although it still depends on the terrestrial mobile network for requesting. It promises higher download speeds. We are actually just beginning to talk to them. We are hoping that we'll be able to test that capability soon to try to utilize the digital terrestrial television network. We also, in spite of the challenges we have with the budgeting, the government doesn't have the muscles to swiftly engage our wishes in terms of transitioning. We are hoping that the DRM in the medium wave will get some private funding. There's an organization that approached us to try to use one of our facilities, our medium wave towers, to broadcast the programming over Digital Radio Mondial. And that should allow us to fast track the digitalization of the audio broadcasting. In the digital platforms services, we are also very slow, I would say, but we are trying to revamp mainly the website. But in the past year, we have had our audio broadcasting services being streamed online, and the TV has been streamed on Facebook, I think for maybe a couple of years now. And what we think we should be doing now is to monetize the services that we make available, both on YouTube and on Facebook, to augment our revenue streams. I think if I want to go longer, I will be stretching too much. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Please appreciate Kingdom of Lesotho again, please, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I remind you that if you want to have an extended version of what is happening in each of these countries, please, by all means, reach out to the individual DGs, CEOs, or representatives. If you need their contacts, we can provide that for you. I'm asking Seychelles to be on standby, TBC Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC, to be on standby, and lastly, Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation to be on standby. So, Namibia. Mr. President, DG of Namibia, Benjamin Similo. Round of applause, please, guys.
Thank you, Benjamin. As we say, Asante, is it Asante Sana? I was told I need to get more friendly with other people, and then the language will flow. From the NBC, let me dive right into it. In terms of DDT, we have 74.5% coverage for TV and 78% for radio. Our challenge in Namibia is that the country is extremely huge and sparsely populated. So I think we are one of the first countries that saw that DDT does not make sense, because the money put in, if it was used for DTH, we would have had a different story today. Hence, we've already decided that we're going to go the DTH route. Where we are now, as of the 12th of this month, we will be HD on 2 of our channels for TV. We currently have 3. With 2 will be full HD, and then we have 11 radio stations. Now, we are also on C-band. We're also busy with the migration from C-band to KU band. Hopefully by end of April, May, we will have about 7 HD channels through that whole process of getting there as well. So that whole process for us has been working well. We've done upgrades from head-end studios and all of that as well. The cameras already bought, we're already HD. Some of the colleagues that were here were also explaining that, to say that many of them are having this running. However, if that chain is not properly configured, then it will not make a difference. So that's where we are. And this morning there was a discussion actually in the afternoon on the management, the media management, the media asset management system. We are actually making use of the one that is with the BNB group. About 2 months back, we did a full sort of like tally of what we have, looking at all areas where we are. And the idea there is that at a point, material will be housed at a space where by a click of a button that you can actually get it. That will facilitate easy editing and all the works. And then on the 28th of September of this year, we launched NBC Plus, which is currently running. We're testing it. All our ambassadorial staff outside the country are busy testing it as well. And in-country people are also busy testing that. So we are hoping to commercialize it 5 months from now, because we want users to experience it and really go through it and tell us exactly what is coming through and what does not work. But very importantly, we are seeing a challenge for us with, Benjamin, just tell me in terms of time, where am I? No, it can't be 5 minutes, because my timer shows different here.
I work with the Nigerian time.
Or you work with Nigerian time. But, yeah. But in terms of where we are, we believe that with the new app, we should find a way of monetizing. I have refused from the onset to run all our programs on Facebook because the threshold for making it commercially is very high, and we have a low population. So 500 plus 600,000, we can't make that. So what we've done now is that we upload Facebook, but then we move you to say, if you want to watch further, this is where you must go. You must go to our website, and then you can get it from there. We own Spectrum. You will ask me why. We can't sell our services if we don't own the bandwidth. 4 months back, we entered a deal with a small mobile operator, and we put in a bid for the 5G, because our own 5G that we had to get away, we got it back now via that deal. And our idea would be to offer relatively affordable connectivity to people that will be on our system. And we are also hoping to run our own transmission network on our own network. And the presentation that we are here this morning by the TTCL, we will be talking to them, because you need to come and connect us properly with fiber in our country as well. So we're looking forward. And if there are investors who would want to, we will want to do that. I've already told the representative of TTCL that I would like to see their CEO, even if it means tomorrow, Friday or Saturday. Because as a broadcaster, we can't be dependent on mobile operators who are not willing to share in the revenue that is derived from people using bandwidth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chief Stanley Benjamin Similo, my namesake. Can I have Vera Dupre, Seychelles Broadcasting Corporation? Can we please appreciate Mr. Dupre? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'll be short and sweet, hopefully. We at the SBC have been busy with our digital journey. We launched DTT in 2018, and it very quickly became apparent that we invested in the wrong technology. The uptake on set-top boxes was pretty low. Only a third of Seychelles are watching SBC on DTT. The rest are on the 2 commercial channels. And in the journey that we've done, we have moved on to the online space and experimented a lot. And since 2017, we've been on Facebook and YouTube. And this has been a precursor for us to try the workflows alongside the DTT service. So on Facebook, we have about 50,000 followers. We are a very small country, we have 100,000 people. So that's one way to allow us to reach the youth, but also beyond the Seychelles shores. And we're finding the demographics are as well varied, including the diaspora, but also the Mauritians and the Rhodigres who speak Creole like us. So we could be a content provider for those that are interested. And the last past year, we've been busy. We've revamped our there are two stations, Radio Cecil and Paradise FM. And Radio Cecil was always on medium wave, so it's moved to FM. Unfortunately, we are likely to close the medium wave because government says, we need to invest in new technology, and the cost of having new transmitters is prohibitive under the circumstances of us moving to our new SBC house, which is a turnkey project being built by the Chinese with all the studios and broadcast equipment. But there is a cost of running the place, which is huge, and that's why we raise our revenue. We are partly funded, largely funded by government, but we are expected to increase our revenue. So in terms of moving into the online space and then monetizing, we are on the cusp of having launched the radio apps in 2018, use that as a trial ground. We are now ready to move to OTT. And we've done the journey of what DOD has been advising of learning and experimenting. We've been talking, even started talking with a lot of OTT providers for us to know and understand the journey. But this has allowed us to actually test our workflow and provide a good service before we went into. So that's audio, and has allowed us to then see, okay, this is what we shall do. From how the look and feel is to how the workflow of loading content, the bandwidth challenges, the content curation, and all that comes with having such content online and on a platform. So we are doing the soft launch of the OTT service at the end of October. And this is with all the channels that we have currently, the SBC 1, 2, and 3, plus the free-to-air channels, as an OTT or IPTV service for the local Seychellois. Why OTT or IPTV? The first bit, again, was some of the lessons we've learned. And again, that came from, I think, Discover Digital when we learned, is collaborate. So we had to collaborate with the internet service providers in Seychelles to allow our edge servers to be placed at the premises and have that collaboration where their customers are having SBC OTT as a free, data-free service. The OTT part is if somebody wants to, here, for example, we can stream all the channels, and the diaspora will have that as OTT, and they will pay for that. It will come with only one channel, SBC Plus, and it will serve the premium content of Seychelles. We grateful, actually, then our government understands this need for investment, both, one, for us to stay relevant, and then secondly, for us to generate revenue. So there's a lot going on in terms of moving ourselves into the convergence and the challenges of internally, in terms of us trying to see what is the best broadcast system that we can integrate to allow the automation of our workflow. This was sort of part of the subject matter. We are keeping our sort of like expenditure at the same level because of the other challenges, staffing, but we believe we can, after having converged and have the systems, be able to, unfortunately, in some instances, reduce the staffing, but will allow us to focus on content. We are busy. We've increased the amount of commissioning we are doing with external producers, and this also to feed our OTT channel and provide a good range of products to the online audience. So to finish, I think it's just to sort of play a bit the video that, well, if you continue the next bit that we have regarding the radio app, which is a precursor to the TV app. So that's already launched. It's been 2018. We merged. Both radios are on it, and there's a lot of engagement on there. So on that note, I think I've kept to time, and just in time. Thank you very much.
Whilst that is rolling, I think that should be for a few seconds. I have to say that I'm sure we will be bringing back Monsieur Dupré later on when we make the announcement on where we are going next after this one. And he's going to come talk to us about what we can expect in the sessions. But that will be afterwards. For now, we'll stick to the country reports. May I ask now I'm going to ask Itums from Centec to come and give us what's happening in South Africa. After Itums, can I ask Ngenda Kamayoyo to stand by for Zambia after South Africa, because as the host, traditionally we let the host go last. So TBC will be going last. That is the order, and we should be done with that in the next 6 minutes, after which we move to the next proceedings. Itums, brother.
Asante and Jambo. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Itumele Nsekhalwe from Centec, but will give a perspective of the South African broadcasting environment. Just to point out what has been happening, one is the digital migration process that is happening in the country that has been delayed for some years, but the first phase has been completed. This would now allow for the release of the spectrum by our independent communication authority to roll out 5G for telcos. And from Centec point of view, Centec is the supporter of all the broadcasting industry. So we've been supporting that digital migration through installation of set-top boxes. The second thing that I want to paint a picture is the broadcasting market in South Africa. One is that one of the presenters, Lynn, talk about 17 million TV households with a population of 62 million in South Africa. So we have the following players. One is the public broadcaster, which is the South African Broadcasting Corporation, SABC, with 18 radio stations, 7 TV channels, and they've just launched the OTT platform, which is called SABC Plus. There's also the commercial TVs. The key players is eTV or eMedia, which is a free-to-air with several channels. I think the guy from eTV did talk about that. And then we've got MultiChoice. As you know, that MultiChoice, born and bred in South Africa, spreading all over Africa, is one of the biggest players in terms of the pay TV. And we've got Starset. Starset is also one of the players in South Africa. So you can see the market, how big is the broadcasting market in South Africa. On the radio side of it, there are about more than 200 community radio stations, close to 100 commercial radio stations, and the OTT uptake is sort of coming up, but it did collapse because initially it was taken by the telcos, but it did not succeed. But we see that SABC Plus has launched, and even Centec is launching a platform on OTT. And the other thing is on the legal and regulatory framework. The country is now busy with, the government is busy with SABC bill. We're amending the SABC bill to deal with other matters that have been outlined, like the TV licensing and so on. And then there's also the Electronic Communications Act that has been being amended so that it becomes relevant to the current environment. And there's also the audiovisual policy that is being amended. And next year is going to be a very interesting time for broadcasting as we enter into the elections in South Africa, I think by mid-year. So you'll understand during elections there's always been a challenge in that. But other things that I can just outline from the Centec point of view that affects the industry is that we have launched the DAB Plus trials. We have closed medium wave. We have closed short wave. And we also noted, as I said, the collapse of the OTT platform. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is a snapshot of what is happening in South Africa. Just a bit that Centec has been playing a major role in supporting the TV, the broadcasting market. And we are also, Saba is always being a very important platform for us to talk to other broadcasters in Africa. Thank you very much. 4 minutes, Chair.
Thank you, my brother, Itums. Can I move on now to last but not least? No, not last. penultimate. Can I call on Ngenda Kamayoyo? Ngenda will be speaking on behalf of the Director General, Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation. Please, can we give him a round of applause as he approaches?
Good afternoon. As introduced, my name is Ngenda Kamayoyo. I'm the Director Programs at the Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation, and I am here on behalf of our Director General, Mr. Barry Lwando, who couldn't be here with us today due to other commitments. Now, Benjamin, I noticed that some of my previous colleagues did not exhaust their time, so I'm going to be getting a minute from one of them, and 2 minutes from the other, so my time is going to be about 8 minutes thereabouts. However, should the time be short, feel free to stop me later on and just say hi so that we can have a conversation if any of the things that I'm going to talk about will be of interest to you. I have been told before that on first impression, I come off as standoffish and friendly. It's just a facade. Please approach me. I'm very friendly. I will talk to you. So just a brief outlook on how the broadcasting industry is looking in Zambia. Our regulator is here. They can give you the specific numbers, but in terms of TV channels, we have over 50 TV channels operating in Zambia, and we have over 200 radio stations in the country. So it is a truly pluralistic media environment, and despite this pluralism, as the national broadcaster, we still find a lot of relevance. We are running 4 TV channels and 3 radio stations. I will not go into the details due to time of what these TV channels and radio stations are doing, but I'll quickly move to talk about how they are distributed across the country. So in terms of radio, it is mainly through FM. That is how our Radio 1, 2, and 4 are distributed, with Radio 4 being mainly along the line of rail, so the reach is not as wide as Radio 1 and 2, which are the public service broadcasting arm of radio. Those reach a wider section of the population. As for TV, as you may be aware, ZNBC or Zambia in general went fully digital as of 2016, and through the digital migration policy, it was guided that there should be a public signal distributor as well as a private signal distributor. So on the DTT side, about 86% of the country is covered, and on the DTH, it is basically the entire country that is covered. So our public signal distributor is Topstar, which is a special purpose vehicle created as a partnership between StarTimes of China as well as ourselves, ZNBC. So StarTimes has 60% stake in Topstar, whereas ZNBC holds 40% stake. Our private signal distributor is MultiChoice Zambia. So they also distribute via DTH on the DSTV platform, as well as DTT on the GoTV platform. And as far as new media is concerned, ZNBC as well as all other broadcasters is trying to find relevance and space in this area. We did try to launch an OTT platform, but the business case did not make sense, and we were forced to pull back. But maybe, looking at the presentations that were made here today, maybe we were trying to get a Porsche when we could have done with a VW. So please, Tarin, let's have a conversation. Let's see if there is something that you could help us with in that regard. What we have then decided to do is to focus on our social media platforms, as well as collaborate with the telcos, particularly Airtel. Our content is being distributed on the Airtel TV app, and there is a great opportunity for us to monetize on there. I will not go into the details again due to lack of time. I'll quickly talk about content. In terms of content, as a national broadcaster, I think we are struggling a little bit, mainly because of lack of funding. So we had to put on hold our content acquisition for the second and third quarters because the budget was not funded. But we are looking at other ways of seeing to it that we are able to put engaging and entertaining content for our audiences. I did have a brief chat yesterday with Chiki Media, and hopefully there will be avenues for us to collaborate. And I extend this call to other content producers who may be in the room to see how we can work together to see to it that the Zambian public has access to great content. Also on content, what we would be interested in is assistance with conversion. We have a huge stock of analog content as ZNBC that we would like to be digitized, but this process is proving to be very slow and very expensive for us, and we fear that posterity will judge us harshly if we fail to convert this content because it holds a lot of rich history for the country. So again, if there's anybody in the audience who has answers as to how we can accelerate our conversion from analog to digital, I'll be happy to have a conversation with you. Finally, in terms of the funding, I did mention that the corporation is struggling a little bit. In case you are wondering, it's simply because despite the fact that we are a public service broadcaster, we do not get any government grant. We have been forced into a space where we have to operate commercially, so we are generating our own funds in order for us to get by. And this is not easy, as any national broadcaster will tell you. What we do get is a TV levy, which is not sufficient because it was designed to support our content acquisition and content generation efforts. But now it is being diluted into other operational issues. So we are in the process of reviewing the ZNBC as well as the IBA Act. So this is going to be a complete repeal and replace. And we hope that through this process, as we look at the TV levy, we may recast it as a broadcast levy, and this may expand in terms of the kind of revenue that we'll be able to generate. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pressed for time. I'll leave it there. Thank you for your understanding, Benjamin. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother Ngenda. I did give you 25 minutes, you know that. That's fantastic. And last but not least, of course, is from our host, Tanzanian Broadcasting Corporation. May I call on Professor Ayuba to come and give us his country report? Or are you doing it, sir, or someone else is doing it? Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation country report? Oh, it's coming from my beautiful lady. Can we please give the lady a round of applause? Thank you very much. So this Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, our host, will be giving their country report last.
Asante. I'm fine, cool. Okay. Asanteni. Nachukua nafasi hii kwa kweli kusema asante kwa Dr. Rioba Chacha kwa kunipa nafasi hii ya kufanya presentation fupi ya hali yetu ya kimifumo na jinsi gani tumefanya digital transformation toka pale tulipokuwa kwenye analogia mpaka sasa. In brief, kama wenzangu walivyofanya, Ni kweli kama nchi, kama kupitia chombo cha utangazaji mengi yamefanyika. Pamoja na hiyo, na sisi tumefanya reforms. Toka 2010 kupitia TCRA na miongozo ilivyotoka, tulifanya reforms kutoka analogia kwenda digitali kwa upande wa television, ambapo tayari mpaka 2016 almost tulikuwa tumekamilisha ile zoezi la kuzima mitambo ile ya analogia ya TV na kuwa tayari tumehama. Na sisi tunatumia teknolojia za aina mbili. Tunatumia zile za kupandwa alizini ambazo ni DTT na zile ambazo ni za kupitia kwa njia ya satellite ambapo ni DTH tunatumia. Upande wa infrastructure tunaweza kuiangalia katika level mbili. Layer ya kwanza ni ile ambayo transmission, lakini layer ya pili kama chombo cha utangazaji cha umma ni ile mfumo ambayo tunatumia kwa ajili ya kuzalisha, ya kuandalia maudhui yetu upande wa studio. Kwa currently ninavyoongea na nyie tayari TBC tumeshaboresha studio zetu zote ziko katika mfumo wa HD, lakini tulikuwa tuna core part moja ambayo ilikuwa haijabadilishwa, ile routing processing pale ambayo ina link studio zetu zote. Kwa mwaka huu tunashukuru serikali tumefanikiwa kufanya reforms kwenye mfumo huo, na hivi tunavyoongea na nyie last week tumefanya full upgrade. Studio zetu zote sasa hivi ziko katika level ya HD. Kwa wale ambao multiplexers ambao wameshatuachilia katika wameweza kutupa slot ya kwenda HD, tayari TBC tunapatikana katika ubora ule wa HD unaotakiwa, ambao improvement ya ubora pamoja na upatikanaji wa maudhui yetu. Lakini kwa upande wa radio na sisi tulikuwa kwenye mifumo ya ile shortwave na medium wave, ambapo kwenye masafa yale ya kati mitambo yetu yote mpaka sasa ilikuwa imeshazimika, ambayo sasa kwa sasa ikawa teknolojia imepitwa na wakati. Kama teknolojia imepita wakati, what was the tech? Kwa hiyo serikali ilihamia kutoka kwenye medium wave na shortwave na kureplace kwa mitambo midogo midogo hii ya FM. Ubora wa FM unajulikana, lakini ilikuwa ni kitu ambacho ina ubora ambao ulikuwa ni best practice sana kwenye miji. Kwa hiyo na sisi mpaka sasa tuna sites zaidi ya 54 ambazo tayari ziko hewani, lakini mpaka June next year tutakuwa na site zaidi ya 83 kutokana na ukubwa kwa nchi yetu, na usikivu wetu utakuwa umefikia 98%. Hapa najaribu kuonyesha tu kwamba pamoja na maboresho ambayo yanafanyika, tunafanya pia maboresho upande wa studio. Studio zetu zilikuwa za analogia kama mnavyoona kwenye picha pale, lakini kwa sasa na sisi tumemove kwenda kwenye digital. Upande wa digital tumekwenda moja kwa moja, upande wa radio tumekwenda moja kwa moja kwenye audio visuals. Kwa studio zetu zote sasa hivi ziko katika audio visual formats na tunaenda online. Migration nyingine ni upande wa outside broadcasting. Upande wa outside broadcasting tulikuwa tunatumia mitambo ile ya flyaway ambayo katika njia ya satellite from 200 to current, lakini pia kutokana na ukuaji sasa wa mtandao na sisi tumehamia kwenye kutumia transmitter ndogo ndogo kama vile LiveU, TVU, AV West kwa ajili ya kusababisha upatikanaji wa maudhui kirahisi yala ya moja kwa moja. Kwa hii imeleta nini? Hii imeleta reforms kwa sababu ukiwa unatumia ile mitambo mikubwa zamani ulikuwa unataka timu kubwa kwa ajili ya kukusanya taarifa ndogo. Lakini sasa unaweza kucustomize taarifa kutokana na uhitaji na ule uharaka ambao upo wakati ule. Mfano mzuri wa hizo teknolojia ndogo ndogo, internet technologies, ilitusaidia sana mfano wakati wa mafuriko, wakati wa MV Bukoba, MV Ukerewe ilivyozama, ilitusaidia sana kwa sababu ilikuwa ni nyepesi, unakwenda na kifaa chako mgongoni na unaweza kuja na news moja kwa moja. Lakini pia upande wa digital platforms, internet based services. Kama shirika la utangazaji la umma na sisi tumefanya reforms kubwa upande huo. Toka 2016 tulianzisha kabisa kitengo ambacho kwa sasa tunaishukuru serikali imetupa kibali, hiki kitengo kimekuwa idara. It's a full department. Na hii ni vision kubwa ya Dr. Ayubu Rioba Chacha alikuja nayo wakati anaingia TBC. Alikuwa anatamani kuona ile unajua vyombo vya serikali vilikuwa public service tulikuwa tunaonekana kama ni wazee, tumelala, we don't move, we don't act quick. Kwa hiyo Dr. Rioba alikuja na hiyo reform. Kwa hiyo katika reform kubwa ambayo tuliifanya kupitia chini ya uongozi wake ni pamoja na uanzishwaji wa hii section ya online platforms. Hapa tunavyoongea na nyie tayari TBC tuna online media verified certified ambazo ziko very active na ziko na zinaongozwa na vijana wenyewe wanajiongoza with a good quality content, with a good creativity. So we are doing tunafanya online content creation, tunafanya na sasa mwaka huu tuna register kitu ambacho kwa kweli it will be a shock. Like TBC tunataka kuwa na online television ya kwetu itakayoongea mambo ya kwetu, na ile television sasa hivi tayari tuko kwenye kuijenga, na yenyewe itakuwa inapatikana kama online television, lakini itakuwa kwa lugha ya wenzetu ili wapate mambo yetu kwa lugha yetu kirahisi zaidi. Pamoja na hivyo pia kitu kingine ambacho tunakuja nacho ni TBC Super App, kwamba kwenye TBC Super App tunalenga nini? TBC ina radios zaidi ya 5, ina radios zile ambazo ni national radio, tunazo 3, lakini pia tuna community radios pia kutokana na ukubwa wa nchi yetu, kwa hiyo ziko scattered according to zones. Kwa hiyo kwenye zile zones na kwenyewe kuna radios. Kwa hiyo kwa kutumia TBC Super App itakuja na muunganiko wa radio zetu zote pamoja na zile za pembezoni, lakini pia itajumuisha mahitaji yote ya kwenye app and platforms kwa pamoja. Kwa hiyo hii itakwenda pamoja na channel zetu zote. Pamoja na hiyo pia tuna mileage kubwa tumeifanya kwa kuanzisha Safari Channel. Kwa Safari Channel na yenyewe itabebwa kupitia hii, ikitangaza utalii na ikitangaza uzuri wa nchi yetu. Hiyo ni station yetu kama nilivyosema. Naomba nichezee ile clip tafadhali. Yes, hii ni audiovisual studio radio ambayo it's digital based, na sasa hivi iko hewani na inafanya kazi. Tunasema hivi, the difference sisi labda upande wa regulation, lakini wenzetu wamekuwa supportive sana kama regulator. Kwetu sisi regulator amekuwa ni rafiki na tunafanya naye kazi kwa karibu, kwamba radio isichukue nafasi ya televisheni kwa 25%. Lakini nchi nyingine tulio last month nilikuwa Italy, wenzetu wameachilia radio zao zote ziko katika form ya online. Kwa hiyo na sisi tutakuja na tutapeleka ombi kwa regulator wetu, na naamini kwamba atalipokea, na sisi radio zetu tuziachie, kwa sababu watu wanapenda kuona vile wanavyosikia wakati mwingine kutokana na hitaji yao. Kwa hiyo hizo ni picha mbalimbali ambazo zinaonyesha, samahani turudi kwenye slide. Hizi ni picha mbalimbali ambazo zinaonyesha presenters wetu wa online content creation wanavyoonekana. Lakini reforms zinaendelea kuletwa. Changamoto ni zile zile, kwa sababu tunasema new era inaletwa na nini? Inaletwa na reform to internet. Kama 4G tunaongelea power of internet, nguvu ya mtandao, basi mambo mengi katika nchi zetu za Afrika ni lazima yafanywe ili tufit kwenye ile era ambayo tunaiendea. Changamoto kubwa ni zile zile, kwa mfano change in technologies. Teknolojia inabadilika kwa haraka sana, na uwekezaji unakuta wa public sector unakuwa sio mkubwa sana kama wenzetu wanavyo vibrate watu wa private. Kwa hiyo unakuta tuna changamoto ya teknolojia, na sisi pia tunatamani leo tungekuwa na hiki in 2 years, in 3 years to 4 tubadilishe kwa haraka. Huwezi kubadilisha mifumo kwa haraka kutokana na constraints za kibajeti na kadri support zinavyotoka. Lakini pia as African upande wetu unakutana na high cost of technology. You want to change to technology, you have to go to phases. You go phase 1, you go phase 2. While you were phase 3, phase 1 has been rotten, you have to change the cycle and changing again. Lakini pia kuna consumer behavior. Technology nyingi tunazotumia zinaendana pia na mabadiliko ya mahitaji ya soko. Kwa kama vyombo vya serikali vya umma pia tuangalie ni jinsi gani soko linataka nini ili tuweze kupeleka teknolojia hizo. Lakini pia changamoto nyingine kama alivyosema aliyenitangulia, TBC ni kati ya taasisi kubwa zenye hii hazina ya zamani, tunasema archived assets. Kwa katika hiyo kwa kweli tunataka support yenu kwa karibu sana, kwamba kama kuna mtu yoyote ana solution jinsi gani tunaweza tukafanya kwa urahisi sana kurudisha zile kuweza kuharvest, kuweza kuvuna yale madini ambayo yako kwenye zile assets za zamani. Ni vizuri sasa na kipindi kilichokuwepo kwenda digital haikusababishi kwamba tuache tulikotoka in terms of content creation and the value of the content. Lakini pia internet penetration, hapa wenzetu kwa kweli UCSAF wanafanya kazi nzuri kwa kupitia regulators. Tumeona penetration ya internet, serikali inaweka mkazo. Hii itasaidia pia kupush maudhui yetu kwenda kwa walaji wengi zaidi. Lakini pia tuna lack of reliable sustainable mode of financing. Hapa pia jitihada nyingi za serikali zinafanyika kupitia hivyo, ili vyombo kama alivyotangulia kusema regulator wangu, bado vyombo vya umma vina nafasi yake na vinatakiwa kusimama ili kuweza kufanya jukumu ambalo linatakiwa. Ili iweze kutekeleza hayo, hii namba 5, mode of financing ni muhimu. Kwa hiyo hii na yenyewe pia as one tunaweza tukaja na solution ya pamoja. Asanteni kwa kunisikiliza.
Engineer Pendo, a round of applause for her, please. So, how do you tell, you go visit someone in their house, and then the host starts to speak. How do you tell the host that time is up? How do you do that? That is why you'll have to forgive me. The host has to speak, and it's their house. You have to forgive me for allowing her to take the time that she needs. So thank you very much, ma'am. I have a special dispensation here from the Saba Secretariat. But before we do that, I want to let our colleagues know how we're going to run. Now, officially, the Saba country report is finished, and officially now we need to go into the closing sessions, the closing ceremony. Shortly, we will be handing back to our colleagues at the TBC to run the closing ceremony, because I understand the Honorable Minister is here. But before then, Saba has asked for a special dispensation of another 10 minutes from you, so we can hear something that they thought, well, I've seen it, and we thought is also very, very pertinent. First, we want to hear from Tando Zosi from NIF to talk about wildlife and nature conservation content in Africa made by Africans. And after that, we hear from Chiki Media. I've had some talk about Chiki Media today, so we will be hearing a short presentation from Chiki Media. That dispensation is courtesy from you. After that, we then go into the closing ceremony. Hopefully by 4 o'clock, we should be able to do that. The closing sessions in total should be about half an hour, so we'll still be on track to finish by 4:30. Tando, please, you're up.
Don't be scared when you see me with the laptop. I'm not going to take forever. Okay, just quickly to thank the Saba President, Stanley Similo, Benjamin Pius, thank you very much, and Cecil, and Dr. Chacha of TBC, the sponsors that have made this possible.
So that the stories of Africa's natural habitats are increasingly told by and from the perspectives of African people. It's also about breaking down the barriers to entry and to creating access for a connected network of Africa's scientists, conservationists, and storytellers supporting each other. Come with me.
It's about South African Dive Master Slee training Dr. Kamla Aristide from Cameroon as he learns to scuba dive. Aristide, a National Geographic explorer, has been working on the conservation of Cameroon's large aquatic wildlife since 2008. Now, he finally gets to see the magic that lies beneath the surface of the ocean. It's about Jonathan from Malawi, before he leaves for an internship with Riverbank Studios in India, training Hilma from Namibia as she prepares for a shoot with Silverback Films later this month.
It is about Tuku from Kenya, teaching editing to CK from South Africa so that they can tell their own local stories. Stories about Kosi, who grew up right...
Okay, we must proceed in the interest of time. But I think you getting the gist of it. It's about... Thank you. It's about Africans telling their own stories, about the exchange between us as Africans in taking the center stage when it comes to issues of nature, wildlife, and conservation. And all we are saying is that we are not just the rangers. We are scientists, we are educated, we love our planet, and we want to be able to tell our stories. And so this is a non-profit organization called NUF that was founded by a couple, Pragna and Noel, and I'm sure you saw Noel. NUF is a permanent platform in Africa for filmmakers, conservationists, and scientists to engage and network and contribute through storytelling towards a shared vision of protecting the Earth's natural asset for future generations. What started out as an annual Congress in 2017 has grown to become an all-year-round capacity building, impact and outreach organization building a connected network of Africans advocating for the protection of our continent's natural habitats and wildlife through visual storytelling. So as I'm here and I have appealed to the GS to be given the opportunity, because this is the space where I was going to be able to access a lot of programming decision makers. And all we are appealing for is the space in your different platforms through a license. From 2017, when we started, we have actually generated about 30 titles and counting. Others are in different stages of production. And all we are asking for is the broadcasters, the programmers, and the broadcasters to actually license the content. I could give it for free. You know, I could give you a free license instead of you saying to me, let them pay, let the producers, the young producers pay for their content to be seen on screen. We could give it to you for a free license. But whenever I get a license on each of those 30 titles, the licensing fee goes back to the producer. Why? Because we want them to continue producing. We want them to realize that there is a way of making living in this industry. So we appreciate if you give us a license than take a free license. But instead of us making us pay, you'd rather just take a free license and let's see a lot of ourselves on screen. Because if we are saying that we want to protect our planet, how can we protect what we cannot see? You are the broadcasters. And you've got the power to make changes on some of the regulations that stop small filmmakers from entering the space by opening through licensing, free license or pay it or get sponsors to pay for the content to be played on your platforms. This content that I'm talking about, it's 30 titles, they come from across Africa. So there is definitely one or two that comes from your country. So we'll appreciate if we can have that. I'd like to take this opportunity also to invite you, especially the program decision makers that are sitting here, to the convention, to the Congress that takes place in Durban in South Africa for NUF. This is a prominent industry gathering where emerging and experienced filmmakers, storytellers, scientists, and conversationists and media distributors come together. The focus is on understanding the industry trends and business opportunities in the nature and wildlife filmmaking sphere. And then we've got labs, several labs that you can tap into and you can see all that on our website. So I'm hoping to talk to some of you and actually talk about how we can work together, collaborate to push this content onto your platforms. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Tando. I understand there is the Honorable Minister in the House, and we have to swiftly go into the closing session protocol because obviously our special guest cannot be kept waiting. So I want to apologize to Chiki Media. We will find a way to make it up to you guys to be able to do your presentation at some other platform that Saba will be putting together. But for now, we really have to go to the closing ceremony protocol. And in that instance, I would like to bring back the lady from the TBC who will take us through that process. Thank you.
Asante sana Benjamin. Mabibi na mabwana, naomba sasa tusimame kwa ajili ya kumkaribisha mgeni wetu rasmi kwa ajili ya kufunga shughuli hii, ambaye ni naibu waziri wa maendeleo ya jamii, jinsia, wazee na watoto wa Serikali ya Mapinduzi Zanzibar. Naomba tupige makofi wakati tukimkaribisha mgeni wetu rasmi. Kama ilivyo kawaida na utaratibu wetu, bado makofi hayajatosha. Naomba tuongeze makofi kwa wingi kabisa wakati mgeni wetu rasmi na meza kuu wakisogea kwenye jukwaa kuu. Asante na washukuru. Naomba tafadhali tuketi. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, meza kuu pamoja na washiriki wa mkutano huu, naomba tuketi. Asante sana, nashukuru. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, huu ni mkutano mkuu wa Saba wa mashirika ya utangazaji ya umma kusini mwa Afrika, Saba, ambao umeanza tangu jana tarehe 10 Oktoba na ulifunguliwa na Mheshimiwa Rais wa Zanzibar ambaye pia ni mwenyekiti wa Baraza la Mapinduzi, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, na umeleta pamoja washiriki kutoka vyombo vya utangazaji vya umma pamoja na washiriki wengine kutoka maeneo mbalimbali ya Afrika na duniani. Kwa hiyo umekusanyisha pamoja watu takriban 200 ambao wamefika hapa visiwa vya marashi ya karafuu Zanzibar. Bila kupoteza wakati, nitumie sasa fursa hii kumkaribisha Dr. Ayubu Rioba Chacha, mkurugenzi mkuu wa TBC, kwa ajili ya kutoa salamu za ukaribisho na kutoa taarifa fupi kuhusu mkutano huu. Naomba tumpigie makofi akisogea kwenye kinasa sauti.
Asante sana Ana Mwasioke, asante sana na ma-MC wengine. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, nitumie fursa hii kwanza kabisa nikushukuru sana kwa kufika. Na Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, jana wakati wa ufunguzi naibu waziri wetu wa habari, mawasiliano na teknolojia ya habari, Kundo Matthew Andrea, alitupatia hapa sifa moja ya rais wetu Daktari Hussein Ali Mwinyi, rais wetu na mwenyekiti wa Baraza la Mapinduzi. Akasema ni mtu anayejali sana muda, kwa sababu alifika kwa wakati. Na leo wewe umethibitisha kwamba
popote pale ulipo, karibu sana Zanzibar. Karibu katika mkutano wa kimataifa wa 30 wa mwaka kwa mashirika